Hello, I'm Patrick, your chief flight attendant. Soon, as you sail through our spacious skies, you may see amber waves of grain.
Hello, my name is Logan Shaw, welcome to Logan's Story. Welcome to this next historical overview contact Disney California Adventure rides. This will be our last one, so keep an eye out for new stuff. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Burning bridges.
Soarin is a flight motion simulator attraction and Disney film at Disney California Adventure, Epcot, Shanghai Disneyland, and Tokyo Disney Sea. The attraction is known under various names varying by park. It employs a mechanical lift system, a projected presentation on an 80-foot, 24-meter concave 180-degree dome screen, an artificial sense and wind to simulate a hang-gliding flight over locations in 6 of the world's continents. You may consider it the first flying theater. It opened February 8th, 2001. Okay, what does it mean to fly through the air? What does it mean to see things from a different perspective? Can you do that? Well, with Soarin' over California, Soarin' over the world, and Soarin' over America, you can do exactly that. You can fly through the outer reaches of any air source that you can possibly imagine. And that being as it may, it seems to be something that we can all take agreement on of being somewhat of a different ride that Disney's used to producing. Disney invented a way to make flight possible without leaving a general outscope of where you are. And Soarin' over California, Soarin' over the world, Soarin' over America, whatever Soarin' you're talking about, has completed the goal of new destinations being presented on a big screen. And that makes us believe that things are there. Through the sights, the sounds, the smells, whatever we can possibly imagine about what's there in the Disney realm of Soarin' over California, Soarin' over the world, Soarin' over America, it doesn't matter what it is. The thing is that brings this to light so much so is the fact that you may feel like you're flying. It may not be that you are, but the feeling of feeling free is there. And with that being said, that's something that we can all take into consideration about the things that are very deep and welded inside of things that are presented in the use of flight. That being as it may, there's something greater and possibly underwhelming or maybe overwhelming about this ride. I mean, what could you possibly pull out of Worldview from this? What is the thing that you can pull out from this and make it so that is very, very useful to all people? And that being as it may, what is useful to all people in accordance to this ride? What can we take away? Well, what about the feeling of being free? What about the feeling of soaring through the air like a bird or an airplane? What about the feeling of being able to do whatever you want inside of something so crazy as flying, which you just did when you rode the ride? And that is something that we can all take away as important to the outscope of what we see the ride as being. And that being as it may, there's only one thing that we can take away from this. Well, a couple things. But if you want to look in the deepening square of everything that we know now about this ride, we have to go into detail. So, let's go into detail. Okay, so the ride in itself is something that we can all say and believe as to be a ride to explicate the idea of what it means to fly and what it means to take flight when you are able to. Everyone has the ability to do so. It just costs a little bit of money. But when you go to Disney's California Adventure or Epcot, you find that flying is not that far off. You find that being free is not that far off. You find that the things that mean to you what means to me. Something that we can all share in common. Everybody wants to fly. Everyone wants to know that feeling, to be like Superman, to be like, any superhero that we know that can fly. And with this ride, it shows us that we can do that. It's possible. We just need to make sure the tools that we have are very possible for us to continue on with the idea of flight. And that with everything that we know now about Soarin' is something we can take away into it to the fact of what we can see in ourselves. We feel free when we fly. We feel noticed when we fly. And the thing that holds us together in terms of all new in flight are things that can help us be something more than ourselves. And not just that, but be more to our own personalities as well. But not just that, being one to our own personalities as well, and brains and hearts and spirits and whatever you can think of. See, there are very many people that contributed to the art of flight, and there are many people now who are contributing to the art of flight. Doesn't matter what color you are, doesn't matter what race, doesn't matter what religion, as long as you know the tools to make flight possible. And while flying like a bird by yourself is not something we intended to be there. I mean, if you want to fly like a bird like yourself, go to space, go to somewhere where there's no gravity, and become the flying machine you want to be. But the thing is, Soarin is a simulator for the flight that is the feel. What does it feel like to be in flight on the outside of the machines that give us flight? What can we experience? What is the beauty that comes with it? And how do we know what that beauty is explicating for all people of different kinds of backgrounds? Flight is something we all desire, and it's something we can all get. But at the end of the day, we have the idea of flight in our brains, and flight in our souls, and flight in our sights and spirits. That's not all we can take away from flight, though. Flight is something that Soarin shows through the idea of a man or a woman or a child taking flight for its own whim, and taking flight for its own usage around the uses of the atmosphere that we share. That something is being able to enable flight to make us understand and to make us feel. And yes, we have the dogs of flight, many people who contributed to flight, many people who are now not known or known by different people or very small limits of people. We all have that beauty of flight, and the flight that we understand entirely is the flight that we go for entirely. Now, not just being a machine, well, which is what this ride is, it's taken away that idea of being guarded by a whole airplane, but using you as the flight in itself. You are bare in the flight scene of what you see. There is no glass hidden your way. You are in flight. Soarin shows that you are in flight. And no matter what happens, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, flight will always be an important one to the people who always see this ride as for what it is. The flight of you. And the flight that shows every bit and part of the flight that we see when we get on the ride. But here's the thing. We're going to go on our vacation, but first, intermission. Okay, so when you think about Soarin, it's way different from any other flight ride known to man. It makes you feel the flight indefinitely, and the endeavors of flight no matter what. That's the thing about this whole thing, is that it creates a sense of understanding of what flight is, and what flight is intended to be. And that thing you would imagine is the imagination and the soarfulness of something so passionate. And that thing that we hold entirely to ourselves is the thing that becomes most passionate. A lot of people who fly are passionate about flight, are passionate about the beauty of flight. So here's the thing. The beauty of flight is what we're talking about. If you can find beauty in the things in your life, then the beauty of flight, beauty of food, beauty of working, beauty of having a wife and kids will become more and more real to you. If you find the beauty in things rather than finding the horribleness in things, you're gonna find that the horribleness is on your watch rather than the beauty of things. We have to focus on the beauty of things. Yes, I mean, there's gonna be days where we have to focus on the horrible things and have to problem solve those horrible things, but to think about the beauty of everything. The beauty of what shows us everything we need to know about living a very graceful and happy life, joyful life, is the beauty that presets based on a model of Soarin. Thank you for coming on our vacation. Let's continue forward. Thank you for coming along the story. Then we're going to the circle of context of DCA rides. There are more rides in this different subject later, so keep an eye out for that. Also, the mission is 1,000 subscribers. You guys can help me get there by hitting the share, like, and subscribe button right on the screen. Also, by hitting that bell. Leave a comment if you can too. Also, follow on Patreon if you can. Thank you again, and peace.